Basically, what we're going to be doing in this webinar is just showing you some of the features in the 2.08 of the TRW Stone Wizard with CorelDRAW. So what we did is we made a couple changes. We upgraded a few of the different items to allow it to do a few different things, but it wasn't obviously enough to do anything to where we wanted to charge you for it. So it's going to be a free upgrade. We're actually going to release it all on the website this afternoon. And in order to get the 2.08 this afternoon, once we do release it, all you'll need to do is go to your order history as long as you currently have the 2.0 or the 2.06. Now, does everybody in here at least have the TRW Stone Wizard version 2.06? And you'll see that up at the top of the wizard here, what version it is. Okay, it looks like everybody's saying yes, they currently have the 2.06. Awesome, that means you got that last free upgrade that we did. Perfect, perfect. Now, is there anybody in here, I know we had a full class yesterday, so right now we have right around 65 in this class. I see more and more are still coming in. How many of you, is there anybody in here that currently does not own the TRW Stone Wizard, or do we have all users in here right now? I'm guessing most of you are already users of the program, or at least the trial version. Just since it's obviously showing the upgrades, we'll also be doing some basic introduction webinars to the wizard as well. But yep, it looks like everybody, most of the people already own the wizard. Awesome, awesome. So what I want to do basically is just walk you through some of the different additions that we did to it. Also show you a couple features that I know that are going to save you some time, and maybe features that aren't being used as much right now to try and help you out with that part. We did tweak a couple different tabs. One of them mainly the magic weed feature, things like that, especially when you're using the sticky block template material. So I'm going to run through all of that as well. First thing is we added a lot to the magic vinyls. So one of the great things about the TRW Stone Wizard and us doing everything for the actual program is we have the ability to add anything into the program we want. So basically, instead of licensing the program from another company and reselling it, because it's our program, we have the ability of every single color of heat transfer vinyls or different things that we actually sell on our website that are going to benefit you guys, especially with the mock-ups. We're able to put all of those into the program, and that's what's going to obviously give you the awesome mock-up type features that we have currently in the program. So what I'm going to do is just show you, as you can see, we added a couple of them here to the glitters. We also have the neon glitters. We added one more to the holographic, I think. And then the fashions, you can see all the different fashions we added, and the electrics that we added, as far as the gold lens, the silver lens, and then all the regular color electrics too, and the green lens. So again, these are just going to give you what our goal was with the TRW Stone Wizard that we were never able to find with the different programs that we were using, was the ability to make a great looking mock-up that we could email to our customer that's going to look exactly like the shirt. So that's what's going to give us the ability to be able to do that, is having these different type of magic vinyls. And just to let you know, I do have Rudy here with me as well. Rudy's going to be answering questions as they come in. So as you guys have questions, just shoot them in the questions box there, and Rudy will answer them kind of as I'm going along. We do have some questions here I see about the car vinyl colors as well. Catherine, yes, we do have plans for that, and we'll let you guys know once we get that going. It is something that we have already started. Not sure on an exact time frame on that though, but pretty big plans for something like that. So let's go, and I just want to show you a couple different examples and then a few different things that you can do with the different magic vinyls, and also doing stuff with the mock-ups. So I'm just going to pull up a recent design that we had here. And this, we just had our class at the NBM Indianapolis show this past week. Huge class, never expected that many people to show up, but it was awesome. It was a great show. We actually had the 3 o'clock to 4:30 time frame for the class, and we had right around 150 attendees into the class. So it was standing room only. We had a great time, and it was something that was awesome to be able to share all that information with all of them. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to increase my workspace here a little bit. I'm just going to go out to 12 inches wide, because as you know, when you're working in the Wizard and you're doing a mock-up, you want to make sure your entire design is inside of that workspace. So again, with some of these new features that we added, the most popular design that we showed at the entire show, whether it was in our booth or in the training class, was this Love Football design and our Love Basketball design and ones like this. So what we did is, in most programs, this is what you're going to do. You're going to click on your football, you're going to turn it brown, and you're going to click on your love, and let's say you wanted that to be silver or white, you could click on your silver right there. Now it's still going to look good. We can still put it on the mock-up here in the TRW Stone Wizard. So if we highlight the entire design, let's get it to maybe just under 10 inches, 9.7 looks good. We're going to go to our mock-up tab, and I'm going to go slow here for you just so you can see what I'm doing. But we went to our mockups tab, and obviously if you want to add your logo, simulate your stones, everything else there, you can add all of that stuff. This design doesn't currently have stones in it, so we don't need to add that. Now what I can do is I can click on my any type of shirt I want. So if I want this to go on a tank top, I can click on this tank top. It's going to run through it, and the Wizard's going to throw it perfectly on that tank top for me like this. Now that looks great. They say, you know what, I really want an orange shirt or a red shirt or an orange shirt, whatever you want, and that's going to look great. Now that's something that's still, with this mock-up, is going to look a whole lot better than some of the other mock-ups that you get in other softwares out there right now. The problem with this mock-up is I'm using a pretty awesome heat transfer vinyl in that brown leather and a pretty awesome in our white glitter or our silver glitter, let's say. So what we can do is, with the actual mock-ups and us having this magic vinyl feature, is we can make this, instead of calling the customer and saying, "Hi Bob, we got this great looking design for you here. Now this football here, just imagine that looking like a football and looking like a leather print with the texture and everything on that. And just imagine this silver here looking like it's a glitter vinyl. And then show it to your wife or show it to all the women moms on the team, and tell them that's what it's going to look like when we make them the shirt." Well, they don't want to try and imagine what it's going to look like. They want to actually see what it's going to look like. But you don't want to waste all that material and a shirt to make them a physical sample of it, especially if they're in a different state and they're purchasing something online from you. So that's what's so beneficial with our magic vinyls and being able to do all this. So let's look at the difference between these two mock-ups. If we're going to use those more expensive heat transfer vinyls, we're going to charge more for the shirt, obviously, because it's going to look a lot better. The only difference is, when you're doing the design, if I click here and let's say I wanted my white glitter or my silver glitter, you can see there's my silver glitter. You're getting the perfect silver glitter look. Or our white glitter, you can see you still have that glitter look in the white. And then more importantly, with this brown, it's hard to explain to somebody what a brown leather football print's going to look like. Well, if you go in here and we added the new leather in there, there's our leather brown football print. So now you don't have to tell them to imagine how it's going to look. You can actually show them exactly how it's going to look, especially with all of our new fashions and electrics and everything we just added into the 2.08. So what our goal is anytime we add new heat transfer vinyls that we sell on our website, any new products like that, we want to get it into the Wizard for you, so you have the ability to, anything you purchase on our website, you can show an exact replica of it in your actual mock-ups that you do. So highlight my design here. Let's go to mock-ups. Let's go to that same tank top there. It's going to run through our design for us. And we want to turn it to that orange shirt. Now look at the difference of the design. Now you can see that glitter. Now you can see that football print. So now you can actually show them, hey, this is exactly what it's going to look like. And you could change it on the fly as well. So if you wanted this and they say, you know what, I really wanted that to be a silver glitter, you could change that to a silver glitter, change this one to a silver glitter right on the fly. anything you want, you can change it to right there. One that I really like is this electric here, the silver lens. So I think the silver lens looks awesome. Have many of you used the silver lens already? The silver lens we use a lot on the men's shirts. Obviously, you can use it on all the women's shirts as well, but it gives something different. What you want to do, especially when you're using the heat transfer vinyls, is to show them something different than what a regular screen print's going to look like. Because a screen print, they're going to sell that shirt for who knows what, $8, $10. You're not going to be able to compete with that when you're making the shirts one by one. But if you're able to add these different textures and different looks to it, then obviously it's going to be a more valuable shirt than that screen printed shirt. So again, if I wanted the silver lens here, I could show the silver lens, and you can see how great that actually looks with the silver lens and then the football. Had a quick question as far as didn't think you could layer the glitter vinyl. Kathy, we're going to get into that in just a minute, and I'll show you. We have a couple different videos if you look on our YouTube channel with the trapping method. And this actually has the trapping method built into it too. So say, for example, we wanted this design to actually be glitter. So let's say we wanted it hot pink glitter and white glitter. So boom, hot pink glitter and white glitter. You'll see when I move this right here, see how it's showing the shirt back behind it now? So what we did is, and we have that built into the program right now as well, and that's the magic trap right here. We've had that, that's in the 2.0 program as well. But what it allows you to do, and I'll go back to your original design here, is if I go to view and my wireframe, see how it has that slight overlap? And that is so that glitter vinyl, most of it is getting that full adhesion to the shirt, and then there is just a very slight overlap that allows you to layer it. Because if the lines were perfectly right on like this right here, it would be impossible to actually be able to layer those two, because you would have different spots where the shirt's showing through. Okay? All right, now had a quick question with the 2.08 update. We're going to be releasing this update this afternoon. So we'll post on the Facebook page and everything, and it will be this afternoon as far as releasing the two. We're just finishing up the installers for it. Once we have all those finished up, now that we know everything's working good with it, we will have it on the website this afternoon. All right, so wanted to show you a couple more quick questions here, or quick things with the Magic Vinyl. Now, we did get some of the new fashion vinyls in. So, for example, we have the chevrons. So these are just regular cut chevrons. So you aren't having to do two colors. You aren't having to layer them. You cut it and do everything just like regular Easy Weed. And then you're going to get your, obviously, your chevron look. We also now have the polka dot in here as well. So you can get your polka dot look. The basketball, you can see when we zoom in, you get the actual basketball look. So that's going to have all that as well. So all of these you can use. You can make this design right here. It's going to look exactly like the design as far as you pressing it on the shirt. And obviously that's the whole purpose of it, is for you to be able to get something to your customer that looks exactly like what you're going to sell them. One other quick feature I wanted to show you that I saw a couple people doing it manually, and just wanted to show you that you can save time with this. So let's say we got our football print. Let's just say we're going to use our magic glitter and we're going to use our white glitter. Okay, so we got our white glitter and our brown leather. Now you're going to do the front and back of a shirt, and you want to put someone's custom name on the back of it. It's very easy to do in the Wizard with the mock-ups, and I just wanted to show you so you guys know you want to make sure you're using these different drop downs right here. So for example, if I go here and I'm making a shirt, let's say for my wife, and I'm going to type out Vassallo here, and let's say for fonts I want to do an impact font, and I want that to be, I don't know, about 9.9 inches, good for the back of a shirt. Okay, then I'm going to do my son's number. He is number 2, and I'm going to enlarge that, spread it out a little bit, and I'm going to put this pretty large on the back of the shirt as well. So that's looking all good, 9.9 wide by 8.4 tall. So I'm going to change them to, one thing I'll do real quick, in case you haven't noticed, sometimes the glitter vinyl is going to look better. It's going to look a little more crisp when you actually convert your text to curves. So I just converted those both to curves real quick. And then I'm just going to click on both of them and go to my magic vinyl and use my white glitter. Now, even if you didn't want to use white glitter, you could use pink or a mixture of the two, or anything you want. Let's say I wanted it to be gold and white glitter on the back, or gold and pink on the back, whatever colors they want. Okay, we're going to use gold and white glitter. So as long as everything is in your work area, all you need to do is highlight your original design that you want to go on the front. So basically you're telling the wizard, I want this design to go on the front, leave all of this blank, and watch what it's going to do for you. Go to your mockups. You're going to do a front and back design, and you're going to do it on that exact same tank top, okay? So when I click on that tank top, it's going to process through, but this time it's processing the love because you told you want that to go on the front, and then Vassallo and the number 2 on the back. So see what it did there? Now you can change around the colors again, just like you've always been able to. So we want that shirt to be orange and that shirt to be orange. And the wizard does all the work for you. It's going to place the name and number on the back perfectly for you. It's going to give you the back of whatever shirt you selected and the front of whatever shirt you selected. So I know a lot of you, the big thing in this business obviously is doing customs, putting a name and number on the back or a number on the sleeve, things like that. Very, very easy things to do in the wizard here. You can also change your background color. So if you wanted this to look exactly like the shirt would, you can click on there and click on this one, and then it gives that to look the exact same color of the shirt so they can see it up a little bit closer. But how many of you do front and backs as far as obviously the front of the shirt and then a name and number on the back like this? And how many of you are actually using this feature in the wizard? Because it'll save you a lot of time. What a lot of you different people will do is create a back of the shirt or put a back of the shirt, move it over, then type it out, and then try and resize it onto the shirt. Everything in the wizard, it's going to keep it proportionate every single time. So if I made this design 16 inches wide for the name on the back, it's going to make it so it's way too big for this shirt. So when you make the mock-up, you'll know, hey, something's wrong with my design. I think I made it too big. And then you can go in and fix it. All right? So again, the wizard's going to do all this for you. It's going to put it on the shirt and do the close-up image of it there. So all of that's done. And then if you have your logo saved, it's also going to put your logo in this dead area right here. So that is going to be filled once you do that. All right. So any questions real quick on this part of it before we move on to the new stone sizing features? Everybody pretty good? I see some different questions just coming in on some different topics. Rudy will go ahead and answer those just so we don't get sidetracked here, but everybody's good with the different magic vinyls that we added and the different mock-up features with the front and back, things like that. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to get rid of those. Now what I want to do is show you a very cool feature. Now we've had the ability to do this before in the wizard, but it was a lot more difficult. I've been trying to find an easier way to do it, and what that is we wanted to actually be able to resize multiple stone-sized designs with no problem. So what we've done is we've taught the wizard to be able to do that and be able to do it basically with one click of the button. So let's say, for example, many of you saw that we created a new font, and we're going to just type out the word baseball here. We created a new font for the website yesterday, and it's a nice script font, but it has 2 stone sizes on it. So if we highlight this design right here, we go to our fonts, it's the TRW 02 script 2 size. And it says 2 size because, as you can see here, we have larger circles and we have smaller circles. Everybody can see that? So with the circles here, what we would normally do is try to resize, then go back and fix the 6s. There was a way to do it before in the wizard. It was just a lot more difficult. We wanted to make it as easy as possible because it was confusing people. So in order to make this whatever size we want, now this one, it's basically the way that we design the TrueType font as far as knowing which stone size it's going to be. So I designed this TrueType font into being one size, and then the next one is one size smaller. Okay? So one size and one size smaller. So let's say the big part is SS10 stones and the small part is SS6 stones. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and make this design right here, and I want a mixture of SS10 and SS6 stones. So all I'm going to do, you don't even have to highlight it, just click on our design here, go to the wizard, and if I left click on 10, and this is our shortcut, so if you're not using your quick click buttons, you definitely want to program those. Left click on the SS10. Now it's going to ask me, not all stones are 0.128 inches. Would you like to replace the stones? Now if I hit, I'm going to close out because I actually want to, let me go back here. I actually want to show you both methods, duplicate this. If I click yes on that, I'm telling the program to change everything in there to SS10 stones, and this is what you're going to get. So you can see all the ones that we had spaced for SS10s or whatever size we chose stayed that perfect, but the smaller ones all started overlapping. Well, look at the difference of what you're going to get now. It's a one-click feature. Other than you're on your 10, would you like to space them all to 0.128? Well, no, we don't want to, because we want the larger ones to be 0.128. We want the smaller ones, and we want the wizard to automatically detect that those are smaller and change them to the size below. So if I hit no, look at the outcome we get. So now click on that, perfect 0.128 inch circles. Click on this, perfect 0.1 inch circles. So this is what we did in the class the other day. Someone that was in the actual webinar said I cut my SS6 at 0.1 instead of 0.097, what we normally cut them at. So I just wanted to show her, and I'll show you guys now as well, how easy it is to change that. Because basically every vinyl cutter out there is a little bit different. And depending on if you have a machine, if you have a CAMS machine, things like that. So what I wanted to do is I wanted the wizard to do all of the work for you, but again, you guys be able to customize the actual workflow to your needs. So if you cut 6s at 0.1, you can do that. If you cut them at 0.078 or use a machine at 0.078 or whatever you want, you have the ability to change all of that around. So the way to do that is right here in our Edit tab. This is our Edit Stone Size. So let's say, for example, what the program is doing is when you select what stone size you want it to be. So for example, if you click on SS16, it's going to say, okay, the biggest circle, make that SS16, and then find the size of the ones below it and find out what variants those are in, and then size it to whatever they want them to be. Okay, does that make sense? So in the wizard with this, if you have a actual font that has 3 size stones, and you pick SS16s as your size, it's going to do SS16s and then automatically know to do SS10s and then do SS6s. So it's going to figure out all of that for you. You just need to make sure you have your variances good. So you can see 0.079 to 0.13 is our SS6. Well, if you want to change that fixed size of the SS6, you can just go right here and go 0.097 and hit add. And then it changed it right there for us. But we still have our variance between there. So if for some reason the circles came in and when it resized the SS6s, they went to, let's say, 0.092, the program knows that when it's in this range to automatically change it to 0.097 for me, because I want it to go with my workflow and my cutting and the way that I do the templates. So that's how easy that is. Again, SS10s, let's say SS10s, we wanted that at we cut most of our SS10s at 0.129. Let's go ahead and hit add, 0.173, and so on. So when I hit save here, the wizard's going to come back up, and you can see my SS10s already changed and my SS6 has already changed. So Right now in this design, you can see 0.128 and the SS6 is 0.10. Highlight this. If I go to SS10s and I hit no, let's see what it is now. The SS10s are 0.129. The SS6s are 0.097 because you just edited all those. Now, let's say, man, I really want to go to 16s. That's all you have to do. Now you have the large stones at SS16s, the smaller stones at SS10s, and the spacing is perfect for you. Does that make sense for everybody? So what we wanted to basically do is take all of the thinking out of it and give you guys all basically, hey, I want this design to be this size and that's it. So click on a button and it's going to fix all the other stone sizing and everything for me so my spacing stays good as well. Okay, want to give you another example of what's also changed in it. Now, and we're also coming out, I'm hoping to finish it later today. We have another, for those of you that are brand new, anybody that's brand new to CorelDRAW or the Wizard, I know a lot of you, a lot of our customers are brand new to CorelDRAW. So as far as the different features and know what all of these different features over here do on your toolbar, just to let you know that it's going to be a very basic class. It's basically for everybody that's brand new. But later today, we're actually having another webinar that's going to be over your basics in CorelDRAW. So again, it's going to be basically all the easy stuff and how the toolbar is laid out and different tools in CorelDRAW. But the main thing we notice is without knowing these very, very basic tools, which everybody is brand, at one point when I first opened CorelDRAW, I had no clue what any of these meant either. And I always wish that, man, I wish I just had someone that could show me what all these tools do and show me how it's going to save me time. And that's basically what we're going to be doing later today. I think that one is at 3 p.m., from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can still sign up for that one today as well. I'm not sure if it's full yet, but it does allow up to 100 people in the class. And I see this one's already jumped up. We're at 92 now. So, okay, so that's our 2-stone design. Again, it will support if it's 3 different stone sizes and so on to doing the resize feature. All right, and then I do have, like I was saying, another awesome font that's going to be coming out that's 2 rows. It's a script font, a little bit bigger, but it gets into 2 rows with the mixtures of the 10/6s or 16/10s and so on. All right, so this one here I want to show you. Let's just type out SHS. We got a high school that's SHS around here. I do see a quick question on the questions here, back to the trapping method. And the 0.02 overlap door, you can change that to anything you want, but you say, how do I choose which vinyl I want to be the top layer? You can choose that right in the Wizard by going to front or to back. But once you cut it, then depending on the design, you'll decide which one you want to press first or second. It doesn't really matter, but for example, on that football design, we always press the football first and then the love second because it makes the laces stand out a lot more. So we do have a video on that as well. All right, so we got our SHS here. And with the SHS, I'm going to do another one of our fonts. So I'm going to go to our multi-deck Athletic 2. So you can see what this gave us right here. This is basically an athletic type font with an outline, and it's still a great looking font, but this one right here, you do have some limitations with it, and that's why I want to show you what the limitations are here, so when you guys are working with it, you know exactly what you can do. So let's say SHS we can do for a high school type thing. We can do it in 16s or whatever size we want. But what you can also do with this one, this is a multi-deck font. So if I go to the Wizard and I hit 2-color magic text, there you go. It's going to add those stones in there perfectly for you because of the way that we created the TrueType font. All right. Now what we can do, we can highlight all of this and click SS10 and hit yes, and now again the wizard supports it to be able to change the entire font and the stones perfectly for, when I click on that, 0.1219 inches or SS10 stones. I can go to 6s, I can go to 16s, whatever you want. You can actually do that right there in the wizard and resize it all. Okay, so again, this is a pretty popular style that we use a lot, but we wanted to be able to add stones to it. So another thing you can do, if you wanted to bring the spacing in a little bit to where it kind of overlaps a little bit, and then we can hit our two-color magic text, highlight the design. You could even type football. So I'll show you how easy it is to do a very simple design with this. But once you have, the cool thing about this one is once you have this part of it designed and you have your template cut for the stones, for example, for this high school, now you can do every single sport for them. So I'm doing my impact font here, and with the impact font I want to have football going right underneath the design. And then I don't want the football too big. I don't want it to take away from the rest of the design. So I would come over here, click on my text spacing, and just drag it out a little bit just to spread it out. Now you have the option to just retype this and do cheerleading, to do soccer, to do baseball, to do softball. So you have one design for that entire school now. Okay, so again, what I could do is I can go here, and a couple different ways you can do this part of it. But SS10s, and that's still going to cut down for the cut lines there. Okay, or what you could do is with the SS10s, and you have the design right there, keep this out of it because you're going to change that at any time. Click on your 10s, hit yes. There's our perfect for SS10s. Now size this bottom part, because if you size it with the resizing there like we did before, it's going to basically convert it to curves. Well, you don't necessarily want it converted to curves because you want to be able to edit this football to soccer or cheer or anything else that you want down the road. Okay, so let's just say we have this design here. We can come in here again to our magic vinyl. We can do silver there. We can do silver there. And then the stones, we can change the stones to whatever color we want. So let's do select same stone color, and you could do emerald stones if you want. Or we could do green grass and green grass. Come in here and let's do crystal stones. Now we got our design. It's 10 inches, pretty good size right there. Come over to our mock-ups. We can go to whatever shirt we want. Click on our shirt, it's going to run through. Now I didn't simulate stones on this one, but normally you would want to simulate your stones. And there's your design. There's exactly what they have. Their colors are orange and green. You got your stones in there perfect. Over here with your glitter. So you got the complete look for them, but it was a matter of a few seconds to create that design because the ability to go ahead and click on with this font and change them to any stone size you want. Does that make sense with this? Now again, the reason why I was saying there was limitations with this one is you have to basically treat it like a rhinestone design, because obviously if we made the vector part this big, well, the SS10 stones are going to be that big no matter what. So you can't go in and grab the vinyl and then change it all around and say, okay, I want it bigger. Now you can, just like a rhinestone design, you could click on SS16s and bam, there it is. Now we're to 13.4 inches wide. Does that make sense to everybody? So again, it's a font that is available for download, but I wanted to show you with the new support features in the version 2.08, because what would have normally happened is the vinyl would have just stayed the same size, and then the stones would have grown or shrunk to the size to fit those perfect size, whether it's SS10, SS16, SS20, whatever it is. Okay? One more that's kind of similar to that, that's a very popular font. Let's just say we go soccer. Click on this one. And with this one right here, let's go ahead and go to this font and go to Let's go Chev multi-deck. So you can see that's our uppercase. So let's go ahead and go to lowercase here. So we have soccer here. If I go to the Chev and I just click on that, there is our Chevron font there. So you can see it's a true type font. We can type this to anything we want. So we can type it to anything. But again, some limitations to this one. If you're using it without rhinestones, you can actually size it to anything you want, distort it, do anything to it. Now, if you want the rhinestone part of it, which I'm going to show you right now, then again, you have to make sure that the stones stay like they are for the rhinestones as far as size-wise. So I go to the wizard, I go to the edit tab, I go to 2-color magic text, and bam, there you go. So you can see, highlight the design, SS10s, hit yes, and that's 12 inches wide. I want it 6s so it fits on a shirt. One click, and now it's all set perfect for SS6s, and you got your heat transfer vinyl with the chevron. You also have your rhinestones inside that chevron. So very, very easy to do. So again, that's what we want you to do, is we want to make the entire process as easy as possible for you, because believe me, this font took a while to create, trying to get all of the stones to fit in here perfectly at the different angles and then be able to get it to. But the great thing about this font is this still looks good on the design. So even if you didn't want the stones, let's say for example you have just that soccer part. I'll go back here and just show you. It's basically a font that has a couple different features, whether you want to use it as just heat transfer vinyl or you want to use it as stone. Space it out a little bit there. Now let's get it to 9.6 inches. That's a pretty good size. Let's go ahead and go to our magic vinyl. Let's turn it to a hot pink. Let's go ahead and go to our mock-ups, tank top. Click on that tank top. It's going to run through, and you can see the cool thing about it's going to give you the glitter look, but then underneath it's just going to be the shirt showing through. So it's going to look like a 2-color design there for you. So if I turn this orange, then the orange is showing through. If I turn it green, then the green's showing through. So it's going to look like a 2-color design, but obviously it's only one color, one cut of your heat transfer vinyl, so it's going to give you that. All right? Everybody got everything with the resizing, different features with that we've added. Now we also did make some changes, little changes that you guys aren't going to see as far as the time to process things. So just basically to make everything a little bit quicker when you're doing different, obviously a lot of that's going to be determined on your computer and what type of processor you have in your computer as far as speed-wise, but we can do some things on our end as far as working with the wizard to where it's going to make it a little bit quicker as well. But one other thing we wanted to do is our magic weed. So how many of you currently use the magic weed feature? Because I know it can be a little bit confusing, but we did make a couple changes to it to try and make it a little bit easier for you. And basically the whole point of the magic weed feature is for when you're doing, obviously everybody out there, hopefully if you're using some type of flock material, hopefully sticky flock, but any of the others that you may be able to move around and change, you are doing custom names with that. And basically like we started the whole thing about 2 years ago, where we started doing individual boxes around each letter to be able to do custom names, custom numbers. Very easy, where you aren't having to cut a template, put it on a backer board and whatnot, where you're not wasting a lot of material. So the problem with it is every single font that true type font that we create has 2 versions. It has, when you go into your fonts and you go to a TRW font, you'll see like the zebra has a RF and an SF, RF, SF, RF, SF. So what those are, it's a rhinestone version and a sticky flock version. So the difference of that, if I just typed out, let's just go test. I'm going to type out test here just to show you the difference of them. So on this TRW 26, there's the rhinestone version of it, or here's the rhinestone version of this one, and if I click on this one, there's the sticky flock version. So we give you the ability to use it in your design like this, which is the rhinestone version, but then also just type out the entire alphabet, cut it, and then you have your perfect sticky flock versions to be able to do all your customizing. Okay, well, we know that some of you will buy fonts at different places, and there's some great places out there to get fonts as well. Well, sometimes, or even with older fonts before we started all of this, there's true type fonts or rhinestone fonts that don't have the boxes around them. Well, I'm going to show you a very, very easy and quick fix to that of how easy it is. So just a quick thing that's been in the wizard for a while, but a lot of people didn't know how to use it. So basically, what I'm going to do is, I have tests there. I'm just going to grab one of the fonts. So let's say that the TRW 26, this font, you can see the font preview. There's no boxes at all in this, correct? So let's say, for example, maybe you bought a font at Rhinestone Alphabets. Some great fonts there. And you bought a font there and it wasn't a sticky flock version, but you really like the font. You want to use the font, but you also want to use it with the boxes around it. Well, you obviously don't want to grab your box tool and create a box around every one and try and arrange it so it's perfect and everything else. So what we are allowing you to do, and again, that's why we wanted to create the wizard to be compatible with everything that you use. We don't want it to just work on stuff that we sell, because then it's not as beneficial for you. So we have test here. Now you don't necessarily have to do test, but if I'm using, let's say, 12-inch sticky flock, I'm going to use 15 inches in length worth of material, and I want spacing between each of them at 0.05. Now your top margin, your side margin. Top is how high above the top stone you want the box to go and how low. It's going to do that. And then your side margin is how much on each sides you want it to go. And then your gutter is just basically in between them. So for example, with this font right here, if I went over here and I hit create, I had that typed out on my screen, so it's going to create that for me. But to make it even easier for you, if you delete those, you have that font selected. I can go here and say all upper, all lower, or upper lower. So obviously upper lower is going to create a lot more. It's going to take a little bit longer, but watch what it'll do for you. I got 12-inch wide material that I'm using with my Sticky Flock Plus. 15th in height, that doesn't really matter, but because if you didn't add enough, you can just add a little bit to the box at the bottom. But 15 inches is basically saying it's 15 inches length of material that you're using, and we're using 12 inches wide. So not only is this going to create a true type font that you have that has no boxes around it right now into boxes, it's also going to lay it out on your template material for you to be ready for your cut, to make that easy for you. So there you go, it's all done. So this is what I was saying about the 15-inch material. We didn't give it enough, so you can just drag that. But you don't even necessarily need this there when you're cutting, because now you're set up perfectly for your 12-inch material. There's your uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase. You can see it makes all the boxes perfect height for you, so it's easy to line them up just like we do. And you're completely done. You have it and you're ready to cut. I mean, to create the boxes around an already existing true type font like that, it would normally take, back when we did it before, it would take a good 30 minutes at least to get them all perfect, and we did it all the time. Where now that just took us maybe 10 seconds, and it lined it up perfectly for whatever size material we were using to go ahead and do that. So does anybody out there at all have any true type fonts from another company that might not be a sticky flock version or might not have boxes around it? Yes, yes. Okay, I see a lot of you do. Do you feel like this will save you some time, make it a little bit easier on you? So again, we'll create a video on this for YouTube as well, but I really like to do the webinars just because I can see kind of live as the questions are coming in. You can see the actual program working on the spot like it's doing right now, so you can see exactly how to do it. So it's not just a recorded version of it. Now, another thing that it can do real quick I want to show you is if I go to this right here. So let's say, I mean, TrueType fonts and just basically fonts, and even if it's not a TrueType font, just a font in general. Has anybody created a font on their own, like it's just as far as stone out the entire uppercase and lowercase like this? It takes some time. No matter what program you use, there's no program that's going to make it perfect for you like this and make the height and everything. And so it definitely takes some time. That's why we have so many of our Rhinestone TrueType fonts. I think we have over 130 Rhinestone TrueType fonts available on the website now, but we know that it takes some time. Well, let's say that, hey, you got this font right here. The only thing we say is to make sure that it's lined up right. So it's lined up the way we would line it up if we were going to use the sticky flock template material. So now what we can do is just highlight the entire design. First thing we need to do, they're all individual circles. Now this feature's been in the wizard, but I know that a lot of people will ask, well, how do you get the boxes around it? So obviously not everybody knows how to use it. So highlight the design right there. Now what I'm going to do is I need to group each one of these letters. So again, just to save you some time, we could go like this and hit group, and then this and then hit group, and then go like this and then hit group. And we could do that 52 times or however many times or however many characters we have, or we could highlight it all. We got a spacing tolerance of whatever you want. Click on group letters and it's done. See, each one of these, it grouped them all for us, changed the colors around for us just so we can make sure that they're grouped. And the other reason why we wanted to change the colors is, like, for example, the I and the J, that spacing is a little bit too much for it to know to put them together. So, Elaine, yes, you can use fonts from all different types of companies. As long as it's a TrueType font, it's the same as ours basically, and you can do that one click of the button and it'll create all the boxes around it for you. So yes. We got an I here. Let's go ahead and group that one, and we got a J. We got to group that one. So those are the only two we actually had to do manually. Okay? So next thing we can do is highlight this entire design here, and I'm going to say I want 12-inch material, 15-inch in height or whatever you want, margins to whatever you want as well. I got them all highlighted. I come over here to create, and it's done. So again, spaced it perfectly on your actual material for you, threw the boxes around it perfect for you. Again, we don't really need this box. This is just showing you what your cut area is. So you could delete that and go ahead and send this to the cutter and it's ready to go. Pretty easy, huh? So again, we want to make it as easy as possible. We don't want you to spend 30 minutes. I would rather you spend that 30 minutes that you would be putting boxes around letters out trying to get new customers and or making those current orders on your shirts, or out actually marketing and trying to get out there to people rather than spending 30 minutes putting a box around each letter. So different things that we think of that we know are going to save you a lot of time down the road and give you time to do other things. What it can do is obviously give you that extra time. All right. So any questions on the magic weed here and how that works? We did have one question I saw as far as, and there's a ton of questions coming in, so I'm sure I'm missing some, but if I am, you can shoot us an email or give us a call after here. But how do you know what numbers to put in for the settings? It'll have a base guide for you, but just to give you an example, I'll show you. Someone said, how do you know what number to put in for the character settings? You can just play around with it. It's pretty simple with that. Like if I put 0.01 and a side margin of 0.01, watch what it'll do. I'm going to create that one. See how basically it gave us no spacing up near the top or the bottom there? So you can get it as tight as you want on the side, but again, remember you're working with sticky flock, so if you put it too tight on the side, then what's going to happen is it's going to rip. So that's why you want to have some more, and then once you get them saved in there, you can just save your info on the wizard. But just find one that works good for you. It's going to be a little bit different for each cutter depending on how much, because what I like to do is I like to put a little bit more on the top and not as quite as much. I can go 0.1, I can go 0.05 on the sides, but if you put more onto the top part of it and the bottom, it gives you a little bit of room to grab when so you're not grabbing where the holes are and the circles are every time in case you rip it. Okay? All right? Perfect. So basically, we had a question right there I saw about the ripping, as far as you can change anything as well. So watch what else we can do here. So if I have all of these, and if I say 16s, see, I just resized them all to SS16s with one click right there, clicking 16s, and then I hit create. Now I have a full sticky flock alphabet of SS16s. So it was a matter of, what did I do? 2 clicks there, one on the 16s and one on create. Now this is going to give you basically a completely different font of being able to get wider and not. I did have some questions also I see coming in on that Love Football. Yes, we will be getting we have the Love Football, Love Basketball one done already. We'll be getting that up on the website here later today. So I think Kathy was asking that. Yes, it will be up on the website later today, and we'll shoot out an email or Facebook with that as soon as that's up on the site as well. And same thing with the True Type font. The True Type font that we were using here today, the 2-size one with the SS16s and SS10s, that's called the TRW02 Script 2-size. So if we're on the website here, it's right here, the TRW02 Script 2-size. Now again, if you get that 2-size font, that feature, once we release the 2.08, is what you're going to need in order to get it to do that. Okay? So I did want to get a couple, I see some questions come in. I wanted to be able to answer a couple questions, but what I wanted to do is get a lot of you in here. I see that we are maxed out on the class now, but get a lot of you in here to be able to do it like this, to be able to answer questions on the fly as things are coming in. Obviously, some of you are putting questions as far as different things that we get into that, and then we got an 8-hour class here today. But what we wanted to do is be able to just answer questions with the stuff that we're going over here, but we're going to start coming, as you can see, we had a webinar yesterday, we had one this morning, we have one this afternoon. So the one we have this afternoon is on the basics of Corel Draw. So that is good to go. And then we will, obviously our goal is to have 3 to 5 webinars a week as far as different things. And they'll all be labeled. It'll say whether it's a beginner webinar or intermediate or an advanced webinar. So you can have different skill levels of people that have been using the Wizard or Corel Draw or whatever it is for a while, and different ones that are just beginning. So we want to get it separated to where it is different skill levels, so everybody is obviously getting something out of it. But as far as the webinars like this, do you guys enjoy these? Do you like it to where you can actually ask questions kind of as we're going? I mean, obviously we want to do as much as we can, but we want to make sure that it's benefiting you guys as well, as far as showing you the different features and being able to ask questions, have Rudy or Mike or anybody kind of on the other side being able to answer all the questions as they come in. And our goal is to be able to do some of the live video feeds as well. So we are still working on that. We did a test one a while ago that went pretty good, but we still had some issues. We're looking into some different programs to do that part that's going to run it a little bit better. But the webinars, the live feeds, that's our goal. Our main focus for this year and 2015 and the rest of this year is different trainings and classes and webinars, because we know that the more that we can help you guys, obviously the more you're going to sell, which obviously the more you sell, the more you grow, the more we grow. So we understand that. That's why we do so much with this. and try to help you as much as possible. So we'll always share as many tips and tricks as we can, and you'll be seeing a lot more of stuff like this coming from us that's hopefully going to help all of you out. With the different stuff like this, as far as again, these are free features. It wasn't enough to be able to do anything as far as we don't want to make you say, hey, this is a $10 upgrade. It wasn't worth it to do something like that. We said, hey, let's just give it to them for free. It's going to save them some time. And but with some of the new features, with the magic weed features, with the multiple stone size features, with all of the new heat transfer vinyls, you guys like those? Was it a good thing to do? Obviously, it was good if it was free. But hopefully the goal is that it's going to help you guys out and help your designing time and process and make everything look a lot better for your customers as well. Saw someone that received 2.0 Wizard with a package. Should I upgrade to 2.06 first or wait for 2.08? Helene, you probably are going to want to upgrade to the you're going to want to upgrade to the 2.06. So it will be on your order history, and then because the 2.08 upgrade is probably just going to be these files that go on there. Does that make sense? So for example, if you don't have the 2.0 to 2.6 upgrade, then it's just going to add the 2.8 features, which you'll still be missing those 6 features. So some of the things may not work right. All right. And just to let you guys know, again, 3 o'clock today Eastern Time is the basic on CorelDRAW. Just going over very, very basic features. But as always, if you guys have any questions, just give us a call, 941-755-1696. So give us a call anytime. We'll help you with stuff. If there are questions on here that I didn't get to or may have been off topic to where it would have basically extended everything out, give us a call or shoot us an email. We definitely will answer any question that you have. So give us a call or shoot us an email. We'll definitely be able to do that. Believe me, I know I missed a lot of questions. I didn't skip over anybody on purpose, but it only shows about 10 questions at a time. And when 30 questions are coming in at a time, a lot of them just get shifted up to the top and missed. So none of them were missed on purpose, but if they were missed, please give us a call or email us, and we'll definitely answer those questions for you as well. All right, any other questions before we finish up here? Again, 3 o'clock today for the basic CorelDRAW. We will be listing that Chevron multi-deck font on the website later today. We will be listing the 2.0 upgrade on the website later today. I'm guessing this afternoon. But as soon as we do, we'll let you know on Facebook, and all you're going to do is go to your order history. You'll see a new file in there that says TRW Stone Wizard version 2.08. All right, any last questions before we finish up here? Again, I want to thank you all for coming. I know you're taking time out of your day to come, but hopefully you learned something. Hopefully it was beneficial for you to see everything. And the TRW01 Athletic, I think the Athletic is available on the website, Catherine, but I will check that as well. So yeah, let me check that, and if it's not, it will be available this afternoon too. Those are all different fonts that I just created this past weekend, a couple of them for the show in Indy, so we'll definitely get those up for you as well. All right, guys and ladies, thank you very much for coming. The Corel webinar, Gia, is at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the basics. But thank you all for coming. Thank Rudy. Rudy was here answering all the questions for us today. And we hope to see some of you at 3 o'clock today. But we will be sending out some different emails and different Facebook links with some more webinars that we'll be doing. I think, what do we got? I don't even know what today is. I'm lost on days. Today is Wednesday. So today's Wednesday. We'll probably have another one at least on Friday. That'll be the 4th one this week. And maybe we want to obviously get some that are just basic overviews of the TRW Stone Wizard for people that are brand new, like I know some of you here are. and basically going over everything, a little bit more intermediate stuff with CorelDRAW, advanced stuff with CorelDRAW, and then the same thing with the Wizard. So we understand that the Wizard is part of CorelDRAW, and we do know that if you don't know how to use CorelDRAW at all, it's going to be a lot more difficult to use the Wizard as well. So we want to help you as much as we can on both of those. All right, everyone. Well, thank you very, very much for coming. If you do have questions, give us a call, and we hope to see you soon. But email, call, any questions, 941-755-1696. This is Matt with the rhinestoneworld.com, and you guys all have a great day.